Hello. Okay, welcome. Hey, what's up? How have you been, dear internet fellows? It's the third video already. Wow, life goes fast sometimes. And what about life? I guess it's all about exploration, constant exploration. What about exploring exploration and all the intricacies that brings to us? I guess today I wanted to put some breaks to like the whole tools and all that and talk a bit about tuning in and the little concept I brought last video about like tuning your body, about entering the space, and also bringing exploration into the scene and how that can be extremely hard, extremely confusing. And I guess that's the main intricacy with like exploration, that you don't know what's gonna come from that exploration sometimes. So how to explore, like how to know when you're actually going somewhere. I guess you never know. I guess a lot of exploration is just crashing into walls and understanding what you don't want. That is important. And how to tune your body for exploration. So, I will say most of the times when we want to begin like a creative process, or like we are in the kind of beginning and you are like exploring ideas and exploring what do you want, or maybe you already know a bit what do you want, or have a like kind of like an idea, some images. At least me, sometimes I start with images in my head. I have like an idea of something that I want. How to arrive there? Sometimes it's very clear. Sometimes you already know what kind of things you want to go for, but you also need to like be prepared in terms of like your body. Your body is gonna move. We are talking about dance here, and dance is extremely hard, as we commented last video. So how to actually dive into the dance atmospheric realm and bring some exploration that is not actually going to like kill us or give us an injury or something, which actually we're going to talk about it in the future. But today I want to talk a bit more about how to get in, how to ride this body, and how to like, you know, make things happen. You never know how things can happen and how and why they are gonna happen, but sometimes you can kind of tune your body or create an atmosphere for stuff to happen. This book about Rick Rubin, you remember, The Creative Act? There is a very nice part of the book where it says like, well, sometimes you go for the studio or you go to like these processes and you're waiting for the lighting to come, the lightning, you know, like you're waiting for that moment of eureka, like, oh wow, it's happening, I know what I want, you know. Sometimes it doesn't come, as we talk last video. Sometimes it comes through improvisation, something very hard to grasp. And that is why we were also saying that it's important to record yourself. It's very important, but what to do for these moments to come also, it's something that we can also comment. And I think I can give a little bit of like an insight from my perspective as a dancer. So let's say you want these flashing lights to come. You want your brain and your internal thoughts and ideas to like connect and say, yes, I want that. Okay, how are you going to access that? So I will say there is like two parts of like how to create this stuff to happen. And first is what I already mentioned, tuning in. It's basically make your body available and ready for what you want to make. It's really a thing, and you cannot like force this. Sometimes you need to take the time. It's nice sometimes to go immediately to some stuff that you maybe have an idea, like a clear idea of what do you want. But I will say it's very important to prepare your body. We are fragile machines, and saying we are machines, it's a bit sad, no? But we are in some kind of way like a mechanism, and we are able to work until several hours, until several times, and then we get tired and we need to get some energy. So give yourself energy and prepare yourself, you know, put the oil in the parts, like create that thing to happen, create the movement, start to create the flow. So any way in which you like find yourself tuning in, again, it can be through like different methods, but to connect to yourself and to make every part of yourself getting integrated in what you want to do, it's very important. And I will say this tuning, this warming up, this whatever must be directed towards you might want to explore. If you want to explore whatever and you are like, I just want to jump into the studio and find whatever I'm gonna find, I don't know, I might start jumping and something might come from that, or I'm gonna like roll into the floor for like minutes and I'm gonna put the camera until something comes, and that's gonna be my new seed, you know, in order to continue working. That it's nice. So then tune in your body for that, prepare yourself, give yourself the enough tools, be ready. You don't want to hurt yourself, it's very important. Take care of your holy precious instrument that you have, you know. It is indeed a kind of machine, but it's also a tree, and it's also a world in itself. It has a ecosystem. You want to nurture it, so don't treat it as like it's eternal. It's going to come to an end in some point, and you don't want that end to be like painful and a whole sacrifice in order to like continue doing whatever you want to do today. You might also want to think in tomorrow. So tuning in and directing this tuning towards whatever you want to make is important. It's very crucial that you understand when you start moving, you start to direct your desires and integrating it with yourself, with your own body. Okay, that's nice. The body is an instrument and can be a beautiful instrument, and it's your own instrument, and that's also crazy because you're not only working with like your physical body, let's say like your bones and your flesh and your muscles, which they are crazily working and they are indeed very part of whatever you're gonna make, but you also have a lot of things happening inside you. And yeah, I'm talking about feelings and like processes and like maybe your digestion and all that, okay? So there is a lot of things happening. Now, what's happening in your mind? I love the idea of the body mind. I remember I took classes with like a guy, he was called Pale, and it was like shiatsu classes. Shiatsu, it's a way of like massaging yourself, or at least what we were saying in shiatsu were a lot of tools and strategies to give yourself massages and how to like integrate all your life into that massage. So even if you were giving a massage, he was like, oh, you are not comfortable giving that massage, you are not gonna give them a good and comfortable experience if you're not having a good experience yourself. So they also teach you to like take everything in life as it's part of a whole. It's beautiful. And why I come to this, because the body mind, it's a very beautiful concept, and I think we sadly and unfortunately tend to really separate our body and our minds, you know, but they're actually together. They work together as a team, as a continuous collaboration in life. And you're gonna might feel this sometimes when you feel sad and your body feels totally shit and crappy and you can't move and you can't stand from your bed. But you also might realize that an injury or a severe pain in your elbow or in your shoulder can totally change your perspective and your feelings, and you might feel very sad and lonely and like, why life is so painful sometimes? Well, it's all connected. And why? Because the second part of all this is like, okay, we want the lightning to come, so we tune our bodies and we also create a good atmosphere. Okay, so Rick Rubin, again, the creative act. Do you want the lightning to come? You never know. We can't know. People have tried to study it and it's full chaos. Okay? Weathers and storms come whenever they want, whenever they want, and there is no really a good way to like measure and know when the lightning is gonna come. But we can, humans, humanity, you, yourself, create the good atmosphere for the lightning to appear. Okay? That is very important. So we might not have a control of when and how the idea is gonna come, when the eureka moment is gonna like arrive, and you're gonna be very satisfied about that, but you can create the good space, the good atmosphere, the good environment for that to appear. And how do you make a good environment? That's also a good question. So one of that, I think, is totally about, do you feel comfortable in this space? Are you okay with the lightning there? Do you might prefer to like bring more light, less light? Do you want some music there? You want to like listen your own breathing? Do you want maybe headphones? Some people really get focused with headphones on, with like, noise canceling stuff. That's really valuable, and it's good that you understand what are your ways for bringing the lightning to come. I think exploration, it's a beautiful thing and can lead us to literally nothing. That it's also good, okay? You can tune yourself and create the spaces and the atmosphere for exploration to happen, and during this exploration you might arrive to nothing. That's also very good. Don't feel bad if you have like a whole day in the studio and nothing comes. You just found plenty of ways of how you don't want to move or you don't want your solo to be about. That's exploration. Exploring exploration, it's a whole mystery. It's entering in the nothing. You're going in the dark and there is nothing you can do, and sometimes you're not gonna have any light and you just gonna have like faith, okay? But it's not the kind of faith where you're like obsessively thinking that something is gonna be there and you just keep walking in the dark. It's like some kind of explorational faith. You are willing to keep exploring and keep understanding what there is there, even if you don't see nothing, okay? Just one thing can be the difference, and every little step you give is gonna be an advance. Success is not about like, oh, I did this amazing thing. Success is about the little things, okay? You don't need to force yourself to like make something amazing. The best days in the studio are the ones where you don't find nothing, because you understand what you don't want. We can get very deep into that, but I'm just gonna leave it there for you to think about it, okay? Your body, it's very complex and you're gonna have feelings while you're exploring, and these feelings are gonna affect the way you move, and the way you're moving and the way you're feeling your body is gonna affect your own mind process thinking situations, and that is part also of exploration. And exploration, it's a whole world, and you shouldn't be afraid to like dive into it, okay? And take care of yourself. And yeah, I would love to talk more about like what happens when you can't fully move, when you can't fully access to the whole range of things. And I might say, I think it's all the time. I don't think there is a whole once moment in your life where you're like fully there, okay? I think you have some peaks. I think sometimes you say like, wow, this time, this month, this week, this day, I feel like I have everything, okay? 2 days is gonna pass, 1 week, 1 month, and something's gonna come and you're gonna say, oh, I have everything and now I have this limitation. Don't think like that. That's not really true. You always will gonna have limitations. Limitations are part of life and are part of exploration. And that's why you want to like create atmospheres and you want to like create situations for this lightning to come, okay? Don't be afraid to be scared and to be afraid of like, oh, I cannot do everything I want right now. That is good. You should use that. Use everything you have, especially the limitations. Yeah, really. What else? Let me check my script. I'm joking, there's nothing here. Yeah, okay, so what happens when the lightning doesn't come and you have been like trying for so much time and it doesn't come? Okay, maybe you also need to remember that art is like nature, and it's not like a mistake that most of art resembles nature, and remember us what beautiful is to being alive. There is so much things I could like bring right now to like give a very good argumentation. Just think about how the spirals in like the shells and plants and all that are connected with like the Fibonacci sequence that we see in painting, in frequency of colors. Like, why do we like so much the Parthenon? Why people like freaks out with like the Vitruvian Man, or music which is written in some structures that remind us, yeah, it's all there, and nature, again, nature doesn't rush. You cannot force a tree to grow, you cannot force the night to come, and you will never gonna be able to force the lightning to arrive. It's part of being an artist. It's having actually patience, and I think no one ever teaches you that. A lot of people give you tools and stuff so you can like create and find efficient things. Even myself, I'm doing that right now, you know? But I also need to remind you and remind to myself all the time that you cannot force some stuff to come, okay? You're gonna plant the seed and you're gonna water it, and you can create the best experience for the seed to grow, and you can give the best light and the best water and the best nutrients, but you're not gonna make it grow fast necessarily. You're gonna just give it the good space, you know? You yourself, you might be a lonely kid or a person that has like so much troubles in life, and you are sure, I know you know that is you will have the good like surrounding system that is like supporting you and giving the things that you really need, not the things that you think you need, but the things you really need. You're gonna like flourish and you're gonna give beautiful fruits, you know, and the world's gonna be happy for that. Sometimes you don't have that growing up. I don't know if I had all the time, and it's something we all experience as humans, and it connects us. I think that's true, and it's also true about art. So the lightning is not coming, well, you wait. You can breathe, you know, inspiration. That's why they say artists get inspiration, because they are breathing. They need to like have calm, you know. So find that calm in yourself and wait for it. Meditation is not a joke. Sometimes you're gonna wait for it, and if you're patient enough, you might see some light in the distance, and that little thing is gonna give you hope and keep the hope awake. That's why you are a dancer. That's why you are an artist. That's why you might find beautiful things in life, even though everything happens to be horribly collapsing and chaos. It's a very big part of it. But remember, chaos just looks like chaos when you look at it from close. But if you get far enough and you zoom out, you might realize there is a beautiful pattern behind that. Thank you for today. I hope this video give you some lights in how exploration and how to find this beautiful instrument called the body, or the body mind, and you embrace that. Nothing else. Maybe, most surely, next video is gonna be about like injuries and how to work with them, and how they have bring to this world the most beautiful and amazing things you might not even realize. Limits are amazing, really. So yeah, be excited for that, I guess. I am. I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna say. But hey, see you in the future.